Welcome to the Jay Franze Show, your source for the latest news, reviews, and interviews, with insights you can't pay for and stories you've never heard.
Just so I could piss right next to Tom Petty.
Garth turned out to be the most loyal artist of all time.
Smoked weed with Willie.
That was the most surreal, pinky moment.
So I knew I already had a strike against me.
Now, here's your host, Jay Franze.
And we are coming at you live. I am Jay Franze. And if you are new to the show, this is your source for the latest news, reviews, and interviews. And if you would like to join in, comment, or fire off any questions, please head over to jayfranze.com. All right, my friends. Tonight we have a very special guest with us. We have a return customer, a country music artist hailing from the great state of Tennessee. We have Trey Calloway. Trey, my friend, thank you for joining.
What's up, Jay? How you doing, man? I was getting really hyped to that intro music you got there, man. That's an awesome intro, brother. I was dancing backstage just now, man.
Nice.
Yes,
I like
sir.
to hear it. Well, sir, since the last time you've been here, you have got a lot going on. So
Yes, sir.
let's just jump right in. Let's talk about the management piece first. What do you got
Yep.
going on in the form of a new manager?
The one and only Jerry Hines managing me. He's a great guy, become one of my best friends in the whole wide world, and I'm proud of him, and I'm proud of what we're accomplishing together. I think things are on the up and up, like you said, and just trying to keep working hard and hang on for your life, Jay. I guess that's all I can do at this point, man. It's becoming quite the fun ride. It's been a fun ride so far, but the ride's getting crazier, so I'm excited for it.
Now, you say you've become best friends at this point, and he's become one of your better friends. How did you guys meet in the first place?
So I was looking for a new fiddle player, and I met a guy named Jim Ed Hodges, which I'm sure you probably know Jim Ed too as well. Jim Ed plays for Craig Morgan, which Jerry works with Craig Morgan as well, and has for about 23 years now, as a matter of fact. So Jim Ed and I were playing some gigs together, and after about a month, Jim Ed asked me if I had a manager. He said, "Man, you sing well, and what do you have going on, and this and that other." And I said, "Well, I have a social media guy and publicist and yada yada whatever." And I said, "But no Nashville management." He said, "Well, I got a guy I want you to meet." And about a week later, Jim Ed set Jerry and I up for we went and had lunch, and I think it was. I don't want to speak for him, but it was almost immediate for me that I knew I wanted him to manage me. He's a great guy, a family man, knows the business really well, has a lot of insight and a lot of good advice for an artist like me. We've been working together ever since. That was back in November. He's been quote unquote managing me since November. Like I said, it's been a fun ride, man. He's introduced me to a lot of great people, Craig Morgan being one of them, Phil O'Donnell, my new producer, being one of them. Phil Billy and I also been writing together as well. So it's been an all-in-all blessing. I mean, Jerry coming into my life and all those guys coming into my life, even Jim Ed, even Jim, he's become one of my best friends as well. So I feel like I've fallen into a circle of guys who all care about each other and all work really hard and they've made country music their business, and that's the business I'm in, is country music. So that's the guys I want to hang out with, man. And I know you and Jerry have some history as well, don't you?
Oh, yeah, we go back about 20 some odd years at this point.
Yeah. What was it? Were you were teaching a class that he was taking or something like that, or?
Yeah, I was teaching at the college that he attended, and
Yeah.
he was one of the students, and
So he's your protege.
yeah, that's exactly. We're going to go with that. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't exist.
Exactly. We'll tell Jerry that he's your protege, Jay. So
Oh, that's
he loves you to death,
so
man.
wrong.
He talks really highly of you, brother.
Well, I
And,
appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
No, he's a great guy. We had him on the show just a few weeks ago, and it was a great time having him here.
Oh yeah.
But a couple of things you mentioned in there. You mentioned him giving you advice. So can you share a little bit of the advice he may have given you?
Well, part of it ties in a little bit with some advice that Craig Morgan recently gave me as well. So I'll say that both of them gave me this advice. Jay, for so long, I've been just working and grinding and just giving everything I have, and I still do. That's not going anywhere. You have to in this business, but not selling yourself so hard, being confident in what it is that you do, what it is that you're good at, having a really strong vision for what you want and what you need to happen in your music career in order to be successful, not being so hard on myself. I am probably the king, Jay, of beating myself up. When something doesn't happen that I was looking forward to, when I just work and work and work and work and it seemed like nothing was happening, in those moments in my career, I would turn that anger inward. I would beat myself up. You're not good enough. You're never going to be good enough. This and this, that sort of thing. Jerry has really been good at saying, man, this is a marathon. This ain't no sprint, man. This ain't no wake up and the next day you're famous. It doesn't work that way. It's one brick at a time. We're building a house, and you got to do it one brick at a time. Jerry's really been good at and other people too, but Jerry's been really good about making me see there's a lot more good stuff going on in my music career and in my life in general than there is bad.
Now, you have a very unique situation. I mean, still fairly new to marriage.
Yes, sir.
Still live in a separate state from your wife and
Yes,
your child.
Yes, sir. My wife's our life is crazy complicated, man. It is. Yes, sir.
So, I mean, like you said, you're probably one of the hardest working people I've ever met, and I appreciate that because I think that's what it takes to make it.
Thanks, Jay.
But it's hard. It's hard to do that. It's hard to do that with a family. And I'm curious, does the advice that both Jerry and Craig give you, does that include your family?
Yes, it does. I don't think there's you hit the nail on the head. I don't think there's any easy way to do this. A lot of people, they ask, they get the surface level explanation of what's going on. And in a nutshell, my wife is an engineer. My wife is a civil engineer. She has to stay there at the beach in South Carolina. But anyway, she's there for a reason. It's not like she supports me more than anything in the world. That woman wants me to succeed more than anything in the world. And I her, but my career, I have to be in Nashville. I have to be here because this is where the lottery is played. In order to win that lottery, you got to be where it's played. And I am still a firm believer. There have been some exceptions of guys and girls who haven't lived in Nashville and have made it. It seems to me that my career that I'm not one of those people. So I would love to go back to South Carolina and be successful in the music business, but it's not looking like it's shaking out to be that way for me, which is a grind. It is a struggle. I just talked to her before I jumped on this call with you, and we're talking about how much we miss each other. But that love is still very strong, and it's there, and we both believe in each other. And it is, man. It's a lot of sacrifice. And for anybody out there listening that thinks they might want to make this your career, get ready to sacrifice because it takes a lot from you before it ever gives anything back. Now the rewards are rewarding, but it's a lot of sacrifice too.
It takes time.
Yes, sir.
So let me get this straight. Right before the show, you were telling your wife how much you missed me?
I sure was.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I sure was. I said, that Jay, there's something about that guy. I just love him to death, man. Yeah, I did. Yes, sir.
You were also talking about the struggle and how you're hard on yourself and you look in and you probably beat yourself up harder than anybody else is going to beat you along the way. When you're doing that with your family in a different state, that's got to compound the beating that you take. So can you tell me the struggle of what it's like to not only face a rejection, but then face a rejection with your family so far away?
Man, that's a fantastic question. I have to chalk it up to the fact that I've made some what I call family in this town, in Nashville. Some guys that have had my back through thick and thin. I had a friend of mine, a guy named Jordan, recently tell me that he said, if you don't stop being so hard on my friend, he said, I'm going to kick your ass if you don't stop being so hard on my friend. And it made me laugh. It cheered me up in that moment. That's what I needed, was to laugh. He said, man, you're the CEO. Nobody can follow you if you have a negative attitude. If you have a negative spirit, that is infectious. Whatever, as the leader of this, whatever emotion you convey is what the people that are behind you that's what they're going to take in. It's going to bleed into their mentality as well. So I've really for the past while have been trying to always be optimistic, even in moments where I don't know what the future holds. Nobody does, but you know what I mean, where I'm unsure of myself, unsure what the future might hold. I try to be strong and I try to exude that confidence because it is infectious. The people that are around me, when I show that, when that strength, they pick up on it too. And it really does a lot to keep people's spirits up, because this is a team effort. I mean, nobody makes it all by themselves. Nobody in the music business or any business makes it by themselves. So I have to keep those people around me uplifted as well. And it really does wear off on them. It does. And it makes me feel better. And in turn, it's almost like a self-feeding thing. The more positive that I am and the more positivity that I spread to others, I get that back tenfold in return. And it keeps me up. You know what I mean? I've been negative in the past when things didn't go my way, but lately, man, I'm feeling pretty on top of the world. Things just keep kind of falling into place. The momentum is really building. I feel really positive about the future, and so I'm going to keep that going as long as I can, Jay. As long as it'll last, brother.
Knock on some wood while you can, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Now, one of the other things you mentioned earlier when we brought up Jerry was the introduction to your producer. So can you tell us a little bit about that relationship there?
The GOAT, the absolute GOAT, Phil O'Donnell. He is, God, how do I explain Phil Billy? He is not only one of the most incredibly talented musicians and songwriters I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, he is one of the nicest fellas I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. Very religious, family man, always leaves the room with a positive spirit. He's like that. He's that attitude that I'm trying to beat, that I'm trying to emulate, which is that positivity, that when first time I met him, he gave me this little Jesus figurine.
Right.
And he said, now you got Jesus everywhere you go, man. And I do. I carry it in my truck. It's everywhere I go with me now. Every time I see it, I think of that. We've had the pleasure of writing some songs for this new album I'm working on. I'm really excited. They're great. I'm proud of it. I think this is my finest work that I'm working on right now. He's also in Craig's band. So when I was out on the road this past weekend with them, I got to share the stage with Phil Billy for the first time, which was another kind of bucket list item. I mean, 3,000 people out there watching you sing is nice. It's awesome. I love it. But turning around and seeing Phil Billy playing the banjo behind me, it's like a layer of awesomeness to add on to that. So, and Craig's band is just top notch. Every player in Craig's band is top notch. But specifically looking around and seeing Phil Billy back there playing the banjo was pretty cool, man. He really is. He's had a tremendous impact on my career and life thus far. So. A lot of good news coming y'all's way. I'm not officially allowed to talk about it yet, but a lot of good stuff's coming.
No, we'll talk about it in about 20 minutes.
As soon as I can, Jay, I will let you know everything, man. And Jerry will tell you on the down low, as long as you keep it between us. Jerry, just call Jerry. He'll tell you everything, man.
All right. Well, again, a couple more things. Every time you talk, there's another little nugget that you've just kind of glossed over. So, first of all, before we leave the conversation about Phil, what's the studio arrangement like? How does he produce music?
Well, Phil Billy is unlike any other producer I've ever had the pleasure of working with. I know that there are many of them out there like this. This is probably the kind of producer I would be. He lets me have my input. He lets me say anything that's on my mind, whether it's dumb or stupid or not a good idea or whatever. At least he lets me say it. And we work together on these records that we make. This past session, this new album we're working on was my first time at Soundstage. And I've been in some awesome studios already. I mean, I've recorded at the Castle and I've recorded at...
What did you think of Soundstage?
I think it's my favorite studio I've ever worked in before.
Why is that? I love it too, but why do you love it?
Just so much. I mean, not only the history of the place. I mean, it's on Music Row. It was my first time ever cutting on Music Row, but also just the vibe in that place is really something, man. You walk in there and you're like, man, this is it. This is where it happens. These are where these hit records are getting made, son.
Do you remember what room you were in?
I know that when you walk in when you drive around Soundstage and you go where the players all park and you walk through that door, it was that first studio on the left.
Okay, so you were in what I call Chuck Ainley's room.
Chuck Ainley's room, yeah.
When Chuck was working out of there, he was one of the investors in that studio, and that was his studio that he worked out of, where he recorded Mark Knopfler and several others. So
I mean, it was something else, man. And he did, and he lets the players have their input too. We had a guy named Moose play on this record, and Moose had this really cool idea about going to the three on a change, and it changed the song in the bridge a little bit, but it was just this little bit of sweetness, and it made that ending of the song. But letting those guys have that influence, letting them have those ideas, it's not every producer is like that, and he is, man. I mean, he's not Philly for no reason. You know what I'm saying? He really is something else, man.
Did you just say somebody in Nashville played a 3-chord?
They did. I know it's rare, but they still happen. They still happen, man. A 3 with a 7 on it.
The rare 3-chord. We've seen them out in the wild, but we've never seen them in the studio.
Well, I tell you what, man. It's good to see that those chords are still in there somewhere, man. And especially in my music, you'll find some 3s all over my stuff, man.
Nice. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
you go into soundstage. How much time did you guys spend in soundstage?
I think our session was for 6 hours. We did 6 songs. We were going to try to get 7 done, but we ran out of time. There was a song in particular, one that I wrote with a buddy of mine, Joe Bazzelli, that's called New Heart to Break. You might have actually heard me play that one the last time you came to see us. That was going to be the last one we were going to cut. We got 6 done. We ran out of time around the 6 hour mark, but we're going to go back and finish it. I don't know if we're going to do a whole length. We may just go in and start a new album when the time comes, but that's to be determined. Kind of waiting to see what some people in Nashville are going to do with this record once they hear it, and then I'll have you an answer. I'll have you an answer after that, man.
Yeah. Well, I think it's important to state that when you're in a studio like that in Nashville, you're recording with union players, and you're doing everything on a 3-hour block. So when you say you did 6 hours, you did 2 blocks, and you're able to get roughly 1 song per hour. That's why you ended up leaving with 6 songs, and it was hard to fit in a 7th. Now, you probably could have done it, but you would have sacrificed the quality of your recordings.
Yes, sir.
So, no, that's good to hear that you did not sacrifice the quality of your recordings.
Yeah. And New Heart to Break's going to be a super simple record. We're thinking kind of the way we play it live. When I do an acoustic trio at the local in Hendersonville every Sunday, and I usually have Jim Ed playing fiddle and, Jason or Zach playing guitar and singing and playing, singing harmony. So that's probably how I'm going to keep the record for New Heart to Break. It's not going to be a tough one to record. I think we're going to do it just 3, just my acoustic or an acoustic rhythm, basically, and then an acoustic lead and a fiddle, really nice fiddle on there and a harmony part. And that's probably going to be the record because that's the way I've played it live so much. And it just has such an impact on people just like that. So I'm probably going to just try to capture that on a record.
It's just got a feel for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That is very cool. And you mentioned the local, which is a pretty cool venue in Nashville. And I know you've played there quite a bit, but that's where I actually had the opportunity to see you play, maybe a month or so ago?
And you wrote just about the kindest article about somebody else you could ever write, man. I haven't gotten to thank you for that personally. And I want to say to everybody out there listening, you did that without anybody asking you, anybody giving you anything. You just did that out of the kindness of your heart, Jay. That really means a lot to me, man.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I always say that you never know what people think because when you're writing or when you're doing these interviews, there's no live audience. You're not getting feedback. So it's good to know that you appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, man, absolutely. My family were calling me, telling me about your article, and I went and read it, and I almost shed a tear, man. It was something else, Jay. I really appreciate you saying that because that's how I feel. You captured in words how I feel really well, man, how I've tried to model my music career, what the kind of artist I've tried to be. You nailed it. Nice. So that means a lot, man. Thank you, sir.
Anytime, sir. Now, I want to move on just to hear, because the other thing you mentioned was you were playing with Craig Morgan, and you were playing in front of 3,000 people.
Yep.
So what was that like?
It was my first tour bus experience, and it was everything I hoped it was going to be. It was awesome, man. And, I'm out there with these seasoned musicians who have been doing it for years and years, and it's just another day at the office. They're just getting on the bus again for the 1,000th time. But for me, I'm like, everything I was doing is like, first time making coffee on the bus, first Red Bull on the bus. Like everything for me was like a first, and God, but it was awesome, man. The worst part of it is I didn't want to go home, man. I didn't want to come back to Nashville. I wanted to stay out there. I could have stayed out there for another month. Dude, it was something else, man. The guys are all cool. Craig's band and crew are a family. It's very apparent that they're all a family. They love each other, and they've all accepted me. I mean, Craig was really the last one that I didn't know that well. His band and crew a lot of them have become some of my best friends. And I got to get to know Craig a lot more this weekend, and have some talks with him, get some advice from him, and it was advice that I'll never forget. It was talks I'll never forget, and I get to sit side stage and see him in action. I mean, he's not Craig Morgan for no reason, that I can say.
Right.
The dude is a legend for a very good reason. He's one of the best. He's one of the best singers. He's one of the best singers that I've ever heard live, man. His pitches, and it's impeccable, man. He's
awesome. Tell us about some of the talks.
Well, he talked about the selling yourself thing. That was a big one. We were sitting around the table in the bus, and it was me and him and Jerry, and he said, you don't have to convince me, Trey. He's like, I already have heard you and know that you're a good singer and a good songwriter, and I believe in you. We just gotta get you. We're talking about the numbers, how the social media stuff nowadays, man, and we're getting there slowly but surely. It's like I said, it's a house. You're building it brick by brick. Just advice that's, it's like you're not gonna not listen to him tell you when you're talking. I just sat there and soaked it all in, man. Like I said, everything was a first for me. Even sleeping in the bunk. I didn't know how I was gonna sleep. I'm not always the best sleeper. I guess maybe the musician thing, I'm kind of a night owl, so I don't always sleep well at night. But I got up in that bunk, and of course they put the new guy on the top bunk.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
what level were you
they
at?
gave me definitely the top. But I didn't mind. I didn't mind at all. I got used to climbing up there. Once I figured out how to get up there, it was easy.
Yeah, it's easy for you because you're the young guy.
That's exactly
People like
what
me climbing up there is rough.
But they did. I mean, I didn't know how I was going to sleep up there, but I got in there, and I guess the vibration and the sway, and man, I was out like a light, dude. I slept like a baby on that bus, man. It was something else, man.
Now, did it have the TV and everything in there?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. It's a fun time, man. Everybody sits in there and tries to see who can stay up the longest. That was the one thing I noticed is like it's a competition. And and all the older guys, they all go to bed super early. As soon as the show's done, they're going to bed.
Yep.
So they all go to bed, and all the young guys are in there. Of course, I don't drink, but a lot of other guys are partying and telling good stories, and it was something else, man. It was. I thanked all the guys after it was over, and hugged all of them and told them thank you for a first tour bus experience. That was something I'll never forget, man. We went to Wisconsin and Iowa. One of them was a private party for Folds of Honor. The other one was a county fair in Iowa, and they were both great, man. Crowds were great on both of them.
So when you performed, I'm assuming you were performing with his band backing you.
Yes, sir. I wouldn't call it. I wasn't their opener. It was along the lines of more of like a special guest. I went out there and Craig would announce me and brought me out on stage, which was, I mean, probably arguably I could say cooler because that crowd was paying attention.
Right.
It wasn't like I've been an opener on gigs before, and it's like, who's this guy? Nobody cares. Just bring on Craig Morgan. But when Craig Morgan tells a minute-long story about you and then brings you out on stage with him and his band, people pay attention. And I did, man. I picked up like 100 followers on Facebook and Instagram in like a day. So that was pretty cool. That was a good way to pick up some followers.
Right.
That's about the funnest way I've ever picked up any followers, man. Didn't cost me a penny. You know what I'm saying? So
I was going to ask you, you play a show like that, you're in front of 3,000 people, and that's not your typical size. So when you play in front of a crowd like that, did you take the opportunity to ask for the follow, or did they just do it?
I always forget. My team and stuff fusses me because I don't do that. I'm not like, hey, follow me on social media. He said it. He said, if you don't mind, please follow my friend Trey Calloway on social media. He said it before I came out there. Yeah, I've always felt bad asking. I guess I should get better about the self-promotion stuff, but I'm not any good at it. I totally forgot. And you get caught up in the moment. I mean, you really do. You get caught up in the moment, and it's like an adrenaline rush. And you're sitting there thinking, man, I remember being 6 years old in my bedroom singing into a microphone that was a hairbrush. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm hanging out with somebody. I mean, I grew up. I mean, Jay, I grew up listening to International Harvester. I was in high school. I think I was in high school when that song came out, or no, I was younger than that. I was a kid. Let's just say I was a kid, but old enough to be listening to country music when that song came out. So to hear it on the radio and be like, to see this world from behind the radio and to now be there singing with them, it's like a pinch me moment, man. It was like the same way with meeting Neil McCoy. Neil McCoy was a pinch me moment for me. He is. Have you ever met Neil?
No.
McCoy? He is the freaking coolest guy I have ever met in my life. Nicest, coolest dude. He is genuine as he seems. Truly a good person, man. We did the Country for a Cause this year at 3rd and Lindsley there in Nashville.
Oh yeah.
And so I got to hang out with him backstage and talk to him a whole bunch. And he was just talked to us about 20, 30 minutes. And then his TM come over and said, hey man, we gotta go. It's time to play. And he's like, I'll see you bitches later. And then he was gone, man.
Nice.
But it was, man. He's cool, man. Yes,
All
sir.
right. So you're on the road. You're playing with these amazing musicians. You're hanging with Craig Morgan, which, to be fair, most of the time you don't get to do even when you're on the road with them. They're separate tour buses. You're different groups of people.
He was stuck with me this time, so yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So you're hanging with him. You're living the life. You said you were out with seasoned musicians who have been on the road for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know what that means in Nashville, to be out with some seasoned musicians, especially when you're out on the road. So what kind of hijinks did they get in, and did they pull any on you?
I gotta keep the road code, my man. I gotta keep the road code, Jay. I'll tell you.
Well, just tell me if they got anything on you.
Oh yeah, a bunch. Yeah, there are some pranksters. And I got a feeling it's going to get even worse if I go out there with them some more. I think it's going to get even worse. But I'll get them back. Don't worry.
It's like hazing. You're going to be hazed for sure.
Don't you worry. I'll get them back. But yes, they are up to some hijinks, and I can't tell on the guys though.
No, fine.
It's the bro code. But I'll tell you,
no fun tonight.
Jay, I'll tell you in person, man. I'll tell you in person next time I see you.
That's all right,
I'm worried that if I tell you, it'll get worse.
It will. That's the whole point. That's what makes the show good. That's why our one listener listens.
I will say, there's some pictures. I'll show you some pictures, man. There's some good pictures I'll let you see when I see you again, man. He said, you're no fun tonight.
No fun tonight.
Jerry will tell you too, man. Jerry's right there with him, man.
I'm going to call your wife and give her a hard time tonight. You won't even believe when Trey came on the show and wouldn't share anything with us tonight.
Exactly, man. Exactly, bro. But I will tell you, they're all good guys, man. And it is true. You're right, man. It's like, I kind of hope, and I think I did, like especially with Jim Ed and Phil Billy and Jerry and those guys that, and Jerry's even told me this, because I'm one of the first artists that Jerry has really gotten serious about managing. He'll tell me things like, it's so good to be with a young artist again who's on the come up, who's got that Rocky mentality right now. You know what I mean? And it brings new life. I think it's bringing some new life to him too. You know what I mean? Some like, because right now, Jay, I got nothing but the love for the game, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, it's the love of the game for me. You know what I'm saying? It is. Right now, it's like I'm in the minor leagues. Yeah, I'm trying to break into the bigs, but I'm still in the minor leagues, man. I got called up for a
I was going to
weekend.
say, you're one pitch away.
Exactly. I got called up for a weekend, but I'll be back in the minors next week. And until I go up there and stay up there, I'm hungry and I'm fighting. And I think that is rubbing off on those guys too. I think that it being so new to me and seeing that for the first time, and then I think it had them excited too.
I can only assume that playing a game in the majors for the weekend just re-energizes you, and now you're ready to fight a few more rounds down in the.
Well, man, I told him. Once you've had a guy come up on stage and grab your guitar from you, or bring it to you, or you don't want to go back and not do that again.
Right. It's like flying first class. If you do it one time, you never want to sit coach again.
I mean, my in-ear monitor mix this weekend, the guys in the crew, they're great, and my in-ear monitor mix this weekend was just
spot on.
Damn right. And he's like, man, it's hard to go back to a monitor that ain't sounded like that,
Well, see, now you mentioned that, so let's tie that back into the beginning here. It was Jerry who started as the monitor engineer.
He sure did. He's come a long way.
He worked a long time to move on and move forward and keep moving up, but he's the one who mentored and trained the current monitor engineer.
Yes, sir.
So,
well, they got their monitor guy now is a guy named Izzy, and he's relatively new, I'm pretty sure. You maybe think about another guy that I don't know, but their front of house guy is a guy named Jordan. And both those guys have become good buddies of mine. They're great. They're great soundmen. Matter of fact, Izzy ran sound for us last night. Me and Jim Ed and Zach Robertson played an acoustic show over at Local, and Izzy came out there and run sound for us. Had us sounded the best we've ever sounded there.
That's really cool. And
it was cool, man.
The Local had no problem with you doing that?
Well, Jeff's hired Izzy when he's not on the road. Yeah, Jeff gave Izzy a job, so Izzy's working there now.
Gotcha.
When he's not on the road, he's going to be there running sound and stuff. So.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I want to keep tying it back together. So we were talking about Jerry at the beginning, and we talked about how you're out with Craig, and you had that great weekend and all that, but let's tie it back together with the reason why you were out with Craig in the first place and the role that Jerry had to play in it. So can you kind of describe the role that Jerry plays, not only with you, but with Craig, and then how it came together? Yeah,
so he has done a really good job, and I commend him for this. Jerry has done a really good job at keeping Craig's business and my business separate. He's done a really good job at being professional in that regard. Craig flat out told me, I didn't do this for some favor to Jerry. He said, of course, Jerry, I love Jerry, but I wouldn't have had you out here had I not believed in you. And Jerry's over there grinning, you know what I mean? Because that's what he wants to hear.
Right. Of course.
That's what he wants to hear. And that also made me feel a whole lot better too. But Jerry, as you know, Jerry is Craig's TM, and he's been that for a long time. And like I said, I'm one of the first artists that Jerry has managed, and he's got a knack for it, man. He really does. He does a good job at keeping the two separate, and I think he wanted the relationship between Craig and I to grow organically, and it is starting to. So, which makes me happy.
Well, again, let's just back up a hair. Just TM, for those who don't know, is tour manager.
Tour manager. Sorry. No, tour manager. And a tour manager's job is basically get the mud slung on them so the artist doesn't have to. I mean, in a nutshell, the TM's job is to make the tour go smoothly. No matter what. No matter what. And it is a very difficult job. It is probably the hardest job in the music business.
I was going to say, it's probably
it's a thankless
job. And it's something that is, you don't know when it's going well, and you will know if it's not going well.
Mm-hmm. So. Yes, sir. The TMs are the unsung heroes of the music business. I completely agree with that.
Yeah. So Jerry's been doing that. He's been working with Craig for 20 plus years now. And he's worked his way into that role, like we said, from monitors to guitar and up through front of house and so on. But he's been in this role for quite some time, and he's mentored the team of people around him. But what I'm getting at is that he's worked with Craig, and whether he'll flat out say he's got an influence on Craig or not. He does. They're good friends at this point. And if he says he believes in you, then Craig's going to approach you with that same kind of respect. Of course, you have to earn it. You have to keep that respect once you get it.
That's a fair, and it's a fair point that you bring up. I mean, he does have he definitely does have a ton of respect for Jerry's opinion. I think Jerry, from what Jerry has told me, Jerry wanted to use that card once he knew that he had found the guy that he really wanted to put it behind. And that makes me so freaking honored to hear that. Right. You know what I mean? And it is the truth. I mean, he and I have become, he's one of my best friends, and you have to be with your manager. I think an artist and a manager has to have that relationship. So you're right. He did. And he did it for me. And it adds some, I mean, I've been under pressure my whole career, but it adds some pressure, but it also adds a sense of, man, to have guys like Phil Billy and Jerry and Craig and Jim Ed. I mean, I'm going to throw Jim Ed on that too, to have those guys believe in me. It keeps me going. Yeah. It keeps me wanting to say, you know what? I can do this. I am doing this. We're doing this.
Well, with a team of people like that behind you, there's no better words of encouragement for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, I want to just go back to Jerry for one more minute here. Not that,
dude, I'll talk about Jerry. I will talk about Jerry all night. No. I will talk about Jerry all night, man. That's my boy. That's my boy.
But I think it's fair to say that he put his job in jeopardy to work with you.
He did. Is he texting you right now? He's like, tell him
this right now.
Yeah.
Tell him. Yeah. He's in the chat right now commenting.
He definitely did. And that is not lost on me, Jay. But I will say this with confidence. I was the guy he could make that gamble on. I am that guy he could make that gamble on. I'm not going to let him down. It's like all I ever needed, and I told everybody this. I mean, I think I've even told you this before. All I ever needed was somebody to believe in me. All I ever needed was the chance to prove myself. And I think that is coming. I think it's here. I don't want to say it's here. It's coming. It's in the process of developing. Like he hasn't let me down. I'm not going to let him down either.
Right. Now, Craig could have easily said, you know what? No, you're splitting your time. You either cut it with Trey or I'm going to let you go.
Yep.
And he didn't. And I think the reason for that is because Jerry was smart and he worked with you outside of Jerry, like you said, completely 100% isolated between the two of you.
He did.
However, he also introduced you to Craig and wanted him to take involvement with you. He wanted to include Craig. So Craig never felt left out, which was a smart move.
Yes, it was. And Craig is becoming a member of the team too. He is. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about yet, but I will say.
So let's talk about all of it then.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to call him after I get off. I'm sorry. Jay was hitting me with the hard ones there, Jerry. But no, I will say that Craig is warming up to us and me. So I leave it there, Jay.
Yeah, all right.
There. But as soon as I could talk about it, you were the first one I tell, man.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, but I will tell you this: we had some really good conversations this weekend.
That's good. No, it's good.
And I do think I'm going to get it. I think I'm going to get it to. I think I'm going to get to go hang out with him in Alaska.
All right.
I told him I wanted to build a log cabin. He laughed.
Nice. Tell us more about Alaska.
Well, I haven't been there. I've never been there. I know he does his hunting stuff and his fishing stuff up there, and he brings people up there, and they do like outfittings and retreats and stuff like that, and so he's all about the hunting, all about the nature, and all about the outdoors.
Are you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I am not nearly as much of a hunter as I am a fisherman. I don't lie about hunting. I didn't grow up with a bunch of land. If I had, I would have hunted. I grew up in a trailer park, Jay. I wouldn't have no land to hunt on. But I do fish. I love to fish. That's probably hunting and not so much. I love guns. I grew up around guns. We're more of like target shooting people, gun range kind of people. I guess you could say.
In a trailer park, you could hunt squirrel.
And we did. I'm almost embarrassed to talk about it, but no, we did. I remember my dad and I squirrel hunting. I remember my dad squirrel hunting with a 22 and back. So the trailer park that I grew up in was over in Lucia by Castaigne. I know you don't know what I'm talking about. It's outside of Charlotte. There was our trailer park, and then there was this big patch of woods behind our house. And we would go back in there and we would squirrel hunt. And we would camp, and I got lost back in there a couple of times when I was a little kid. I'd go back in there and get lost. My mom freaked out a couple of times because I was out there lost. But yeah, man, it was. But hopefully one of these days I will have some land and I will do some hunting. But I'll always fish. Man. That's probably my favorite hobby. That and video games.
Nice. My wife and I, we just moved up here in Kentucky. I say up here because we moved from Nashville.
Yeah.
But we're up in Kentucky now, and the house we bought is on a lake, and
Nice.
it has the biggest catfish I've ever seen in it.
Nice.
But I'm not really the biggest fisher.
Yeah.
But people come from all around to my yard because it's the best yard on the lake to fish in.
Yeah.
And I just think it's the greatest thing. I watch them all out there doing their thing. My wife hates it. And she's the one from the country. I'm the one from the city. You'd think I would be the one to hate it. But no, she's like, why are they always in our yard?
Yeah.
So
y'all got the spot, man. Y'all got the honey hole, man. Next time I'm on your show, I need to show you my tackle box. You are gonna be impressed. I have quite the tackle box, man.
Dude, I have a tackle box too. It's actually called the Ugly Stick, and it's the brand. And I use it as a toiletry bag. So my toiletry bag is the Ugly Stick.
No, mine is like, like a duffel bag. Mine is like the size of a duffel bag. I can talk about fishing a lot. I'm about to buy a boat. If my wife will let me, I'm going to buy me a boat.
Nice.
Pretty soon.
All right, well, let's go back to Trash and Jerry for a minute. You were telling me.
Sounds good.
You were on your way to tell me the worst thing and the reason why he's not somebody worth liking. So can you go ahead and tell me more of that?
What's up, brother?
How you doing? Hey, guys.
I've been talking good about you, buddy.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, I heard.
Good, man. He's been asking me. Did he tell you? He's been asking me the hard questions, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't want to give him. You don't want to give me
he's not giving me any answers, Jerry. So come on, let's talk to you now.
I can't, man. If he'll give you he is more than welcome to give you any answer he wants to, brother. They're asking me. Jay's asking me about all the hazing stuff on the bus. Are y'all playing any pranks on me? All this stuff, man. So I gotta.
There's always pranks. Always pranks.
Share one with us, sir.
Oh, let's see. So I'll tell you one. This is a good one. So this was a long time ago. This has nothing to do with anybody on the bus except for Craig and myself. But John Stone, I don't know if you know him or not. He used to be a Tootsie's artist. And he came out on the road with Craig for, I don't know, about 15 or 20 shows. This had to have been 2005, 6 era. We were doing a county fair, and him and John was going back and forth, bantering, just picking on each other. Well, John was on stage, and Craig said, "Come here." He said, "Let's go get a cow and put it on John's bus." I said, "No shit." I said, "Okay." So we went and got a cow from the FHA and put it on John's bus. Craig had it by its neck. I had it by its ass. We pushed it on up there, shut the door, went back off, and that cow shit all over his bus.
Yeah. You told me that. You told me about that one.
All over it. And
so the cow didn't know the rules of the bus.
No, didn't know the rules of the bus.
No cows were harmed in the making of this.
No, there's been all kinds of stuff. Chad Borks, he's a good buddy of mine. Him and David of Halfway to Hazard back in the day, they were a duo. If people don't know them, check them out. They're great.
I worked on one of their projects.
Did you really? Yeah. Sweet guys. Very talented. But we put probably about 50 mice on Chad's bus one time when he was on tour with us. I think Craig put about, I don't know, 100 or 200 crickets on Brad Paisley's bus one time. We've done all kinds of stuff, man. Those are the mild ones though, Jay.
Those are the
I'll leave the names and the ordeals out of that.
You got to redact some. You got to
like how you
redact some
say
names, man.
Those are the mild ones. Hundreds of mice on a bus.
Yeah.
Names and locations are changed to protect the innocent.
Yeah, but no, on the inner portion of our bus with all the guys, every day, there's always picking, there's always playing. It's locker room mentality. You better be a man, or it'll make you one for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But it's fun, man. It's all in fun, and everybody loves each other. And it's if we're not picking on each other, then there's a problem.
Right.
Then something's off. But yeah, it's always fun. It's Trey. It was a mild trip for Trey this run. Everybody's very kind to him. I think that he, as he has more opportunities to do this with us, it's all hands will be on deck to making sure that he fits in just like everybody else. But
You tell him I'll get back at him if they want to play. I'll get back at him.
That's not how hazing works, Trey.
Yeah.
If you want to be respected,
I don't get mad. I don't get mad, Jay.
Taking
I
it.
don't get mad, Jay. I'll just get even, man. I'll just get even, man.
All right, Jerry. Well, the other thing that Trey didn't want to tell us about is any upcoming news. So do you have any upcoming news you could share with us?
Yeah. So like Trey mentioned earlier, he got to come out and finally have a sit down with Craig, and everything went well. It kind of went like I thought it would. Craig is really behind this as well as I am. And with Broken Compass, Jay, it's going to be more of I'm that manager for Trey or whatever artist we bring aboard, and Craig's more of a consultant. He wants to be that mainstay of an artist to give these young kids foundation and kind of a drive forward and kind of a direction, because we're missing that artist development in today's world of music. I think that we have a little bit of advantage over anybody else of a young management company, to where we have somebody in a Hall of Fame stature as Craig to help guide them on the mental aspect of doing it, the business side of it, the ups and downs that he's went through. And he's probably the best guy in the business for a young artist like Trey to mentor and listen to and get direction from. And myself, obviously I have that experience too, but I think it's different when you're that guy, when you're in the driver's seat, when your name's on the marquee, your name's on the semi, and you have to deal with all these folks. I think it just puts Trey in a better mindset going forward on what it's actually going to be like once he takes the reins and leads up his own company.
Now, you mentioned Broken Compass, which is the management company that you put together with Craig. So that's what you're talking about, where you're going to be the hands-on guy and he's going to be the mentor.
Right.
I'm ecstatic. I'm over here going, I'm glad that Jerry is talking about it. I want to tell the world. I just come from a place of not wanting to count my chickens before they hatch. I am so ecstatic, Jay. I could not be more excited about where my career is going, how close Jerry and I have become of friends, how much I trust him. And that's all it was. So don't be mad at me, Jay, that I wasn't spilling the beans. Don't be too mad at me, buddy. I'm glad that Jerry's on here.
You're trashing Jerry before he came on. Now that he's on here, you're talking nice. I mean, I see how it is with you.
Now, he's too smart to know that's true. He's too smart to know. He knows that's not true, Jay.
All right, Jerry.
I feel like the two of y'all, this is the long-standing relationship, man. You guys have been friends for, 20 years now, probably?
20 plus at this point.
Yeah, at this point, a little bit over. So, yeah.
Well, with that said, Jerry, let's go back to that relationship. Let's think about that relationship as I ask you this question.
Sure.
So what other things can we expect between Trey and Craig? Are there any other opportunities that might be coming our way? Absolutely.
Well, as I think I mentioned on the last show I was on with you, Trey's going to open up for him at the Ryman on November 7th. Ryman Auditorium is a big showcase for a young artist like Trey, especially with Craig, and there'll be some surprises during that show that I'm not at liberty to discuss yet. But November 7th, get your tickets, come out, and you'll see him.
All right, yes, now I got to call Crag and get him on.
Yeah, now he's going to call Craig.
Hold on, just give me a second.
Yeah, by the way, Craig, here he is. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me bring Craig on now.
I think it's me and Trey's decided that that's going to be the target for his album release that same week that we've been working on since February. So we're really excited about that. And then past that, we're going to see how many shows we can get him out there with Craig and get him on the road with us, the remaining of 2026 and going through 2027. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it's a great match. The demographics fit perfectly. I think they kind of mimic each other. They're about 30 years apart, but
they complement each other.
They do complement each other.
Musically, our styles are very close in line. He loves those good heartfelt country ballads that he just sings so well, and then he does everything from that to Bonfire and International Harvester. That's just like right up, just right to you, straight up the middle country rock, which is what I like. So it's a good fit.
I'm trying to go 2 for 2 here, Jay. I've been working with one for almost 23. If I can make it 23 with Trey and just have 2 artists like that.
That sounds good,
buddy.
Man.
Your career is set.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Correct.
If I have anything to say about it, Jay, that's what's going to happen, brother.
But I think it's also 2 different crowds of people. So you get the younger crowd come in for Trey, and the people who have been with Craig all along are now being introduced to Trey.
What's the crazy thing, Jay, is when I was out there on the road with him this weekend, there were every bit, if not more, young people. And I'm talking like high school to college age kids out there watching Craig. He has a very large young fan base. I was surprised by it, honestly. And they're out there and they're singing every word to Almost Home and This Ain't Nothing. And they're singing all those ballads. And then of course, they all want to hear International Harvester, and they know every single word. So it was crazy.
But it's a great opportunity for you because now you get to capitalize on his fan base.
Yep.
So, no, I think this is a great match all around. I don't think Jerry really knew what he was doing when he put it together, but
no, not at all.
No.
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Didn't he? Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about it until this weekend. I couldn't believe it.
Exactly.
It's like, huh?
Well, he does. He goes, Jay, he texted me, this is probably about 2 weeks ago now. He says, you're probably too busy with your gigs downtown to come out on the road with us. And I thought he was messing with me. And I was like, all right, Jerry, you're being mean. Quit messing with me. And he said, no, I'm serious, man. And I was like, well, whatever I had to do just opened up real fast. Whatever I had on the calendar just opened up real fast.
I am free.
So. Yeah, I am free. But no, it was a lot of fun, man. And like I was telling Jerry, their crew is all super kind. I mean, they're all good guys. So it was a lot of fun to be out there.
Jerry, before we go, can we talk about that wall that's behind you? It looks like an all-star wall there. What do you got up there?
Yeah, it's a shrine my wife made for me, really, of Craig Morgan when I was out on the road one weekend. We just wanted to make
shrine my wife
like
made of me.
The centerpiece is a lock of his hair.
It's a different man.
Literally, it was not here one week. I left on a Friday, come back on a Sunday, and this was up.
Yeah.
But it's just she's proud of me and everything we've both accomplished together. It's pretty hard, as you know, in this business to be with an artist that long. It just doesn't happen in this day and age. There's a lot of opportunities. People jump. You don't stay dedicated. And it's just hard to get together with anybody in a relationship and stay that long. Whether, wife, your brothers and sisters, they all have problems. But there's Craig's Gold record. I was in 2004, My Kind of Living, and I got my name on that. So I guess I got a gold record. So that's cool.
What about the baseball bat?
Baseball bat's a great story. So I'm a huge baseball fan. We were doing a nonprofit show in Utah for a gentleman named Don Pay. He's a very sweet guy. We do a lot of shows with him, and he brings some artists together as well as some athletes. And that day he had Bo Jackson there, and I wasn't going to leave without a signed Bo Jackson baseball bat.
Heck no.
And everybody's like, "Why does that fit?" I was like, "Well, it fits because I would probably never met Bo Jackson if it wasn't for Craig Morgan." So
yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
That's why it's up there.
Greatest natural athlete of all time, in my opinion. In my humble opinion, greatest natural athlete of all time.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite baseball players, so it just fit. And my wife, she loves it because if somebody breaks in, she just has something really easy in the kitchen to beat somebody up. So
let me just take a second to point out too that you're in your home, and the wall behind you is painted black, and it has all the pictures of Craig and all the memorabilia up from your time with Craig. So it's not only a great wall of memories, but it's it's very aesthetically pleasing.
Sure. Well, thank you. She'd love to hear that. She prides herself in that, and it is very pleasing. I was very surprised and humbled that she did that for me. It means a lot. So my family come over and they're like, why is that up there in the kitchen? Because my wife's like, because it is. I want to show it.
Right.
You know.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's definitely something to be proud about. It's
and Jay, there's even more to it. It's bigger than what you can see in there right now. Like there's quite the few accomplishments in there, man. It's something.
Well, I've got a basement and a closet full of a bunch of other that crap. But if I did all that, it'd be a Craig Morgan museum in here, and I could charge admission.
Right.
You know.
Never say never, Jerry. Never say never.
Well, maybe. All right. So I've got more wall space, Trey. We need one.
We need a Trey
Calloway wall in here. Yeah.
When they put him in the Country Music Hall of Fame, they're gonna come see you. That would be that's the plan. That's the plan, Jay.
Don't worry, we'll get one.
Yeah. My wife busts my cookies because I've got all the plaques and records that I worked on are all in the garage. Not one of them is hanging in the office here. I'm like, I don't know. I had them hanging up everywhere we moved. And when we moved in this house, I just wanted my space.
Right.
So, it's all right.
I got to ask a question. I got to put the two buddies together. Pit y'all against each other.
Uh-oh.
Who's the better sound engineer, Jay or Jerry? The master or the teacher?
Nice.
The student or the teacher?
Nice.
Well, I mean, neither one of us is doing it anymore. So
yeah, exactly.
Right. So there you go.
Nice, man.
I don't think it's a fair question.
I got what I needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, put it this way. I need to have a Jay wall, too, because if there wasn't no Jay, there wouldn't be a Craig, there wouldn't be a Trey, there wouldn't be a music industry for me.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
We were
talking about the impact that Jay's had on you, man, and the impact he's had on me already as well. You're quite the guy, Jay. We all love you, brother.
Well, thank you. I will send the check in the mail.
Sounds good.
To go back to your question, Trey, Jerry did live sound. I did studio work.
Yeah. So just two apples and oranges.
It's two entirely different things. Otherwise, I would absolutely say I'm better. I mean, he's better.
Yeah.
You see what he did there, Jerry?
Oh, I did.
See what he did there?
Well, see, my tenure in studios downtown, Trey, was making coffee and bagels. See, I did that for 4 years, and I did patch some cables and plug in some microphones. But other than that, he knows. Back in those days, man, it was almost, if not more, competitive than how it is for young independent artists right now. Yep. If you didn't know somebody, a buddy, or you just could wait it out and call and allow yourself to not make money for at least 5 years to try to get just one opportunity. Yeah. You wasn't going to do it. The road is where you made money, and that's where I had to go. I mean, I had a wife, I had a child coming. I had to go work.
Well, it's a good point too, because the college, it was good for you because you're working, but it was pumping out hundreds of students a year into the industry, and not all of them had the opportunity to work. So it's like we said earlier, it's like winning the lottery. You in your case, Jerry, you're the one person that is working. So if you look back at your class, how many of those people are still working in the industry at all?
I don't know a lot of them at all. I mean, some of them's been working it a little bit, and now they're doing something else.
Right.
To where I'm still doing it. So,
well, that just means you're crazy.
Because he's the man.
Yeah, maybe a little
bit of both. Crazy and the man. They kind of go hand in hand together. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to have to bring both of you back again because I'm sure the stories can go on forever, but we have done it. We have reached the top of the hour, which does mean we have reached the end of the show. And if you've enjoyed the show, please tell a friend. And if you have not, well, tell 2, 3, 4, or 5. You can reach out to all three of us tonight over at jfrenzy.com. We will keep this and any other conversation you want going. Trey, since technically you're the guest, we would like to leave the final words to you.
Thank you for having me, Jay. It's been an honor and a privilege to be here. I love you like a brother. I appreciate everything you do for me, man.
All right. Same
Same to you as well, Jerry. Thank you for everything, brother.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. See you guys later. I'm going to come up with something. Next time on the show, I'm going to come up with something funny. I'll have something funny for you next time.
All right. Yeah. We'll wait till next time for that.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Have a good night. All right. Before we go, you mind if we do a few shout outs?
Please.
First of all, previous guest of the show, as we keep saying tonight, it seems to be a theme. The High Mountain Breezes. They are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Cats in the Cradle. They have just released a new documentary. Jason Chapman and the teams together have released a documentary. That documentary is out now in limited run in theaters, so if you do have the opportunity to see it, please go check it out. I'm sure it'll be on all of the streaming services after this, but if you would like to see it in a theater, now is the time.
And they have their tribute music video on their website, and you can go check that out. At the end, there is a QR code. Scan it, and it will tell you all about his charity, Why Hunger. Just kind of cool that his legacy lives on through the music, and now it lives on through his charity as well. So go check those two things out and learn a little bit more.
Very cool. Also like to shout out Mr. Ray, Mr. Vaughn Ray, guest numero uno of the show.
Ground zero
or ground one. I don't know.
Ground one. I know. I thought about that too.
I don't know either.
Ground one.
Vaughn Ray. Just amazing guy. And also owner of VR Knives. If you need a knife, check out Vaughn Ray. Why not? Mm-hmm. And then let's just go ahead and shout out a few crew members. Miss Kathy, thank you for being here all the time. We truly do appreciate you. Mr. Mark Bottolato, we appreciate you being here as well.
Is my mom crew member 1 or crew member 0? If we're talking about
I mean, if we were going to go that route, I would say
George, you're fired.
You had George, you had Kenny. I don't know.
Caden. Okay, she's got to be uno, dos, tres, cuatro. She's got to be cuatro.
She's in the top 5 for sure.
Okay.
In my mind, Miss Kathy, you're still number 1.
Oh, dang.
Anyways.
Get a room.
Okay. Miss Kathy, Mr. Mark Bottolato, and of course, the question of the day, James.
Whoa.
Really? Let's not ever do that again.